but this does not have a U. In terms of the numbers, they don't have anything in common. So that's okay if it doesn't have a GCF, that's fine. So this one has no GCF. Right, so no GCF, but then I count the terms. How many terms did you say we have?
4.
Okay, so if we have 4, I go back to my factor person. What method do I use to factor this?
Group.
Grouping. Group. So here, the 4 terms, we do grouping. You can only do this with 4 terms, by the way. So I'm going to do grouping since there's 4 terms. And what grouping means is that these four terms, I'm going to group them into 2 different groups such that each group is going to have a GCF. Does that make sense? So each one as one whole group, right? They don't have anything in common, but I'm going to separate them into 2 groups. So what is one group that I could create? What 2 terms can I put together where they have something in common?
4u cubed and negative 20u.
Okay, 4u cubed and what?
Negative 20u.
And negative 20u. Okay, so we're taking these 2 terms and putting them together as a group. Plus, what's the next group that I'm going to put together then? What's left over?
7u squared minus 35.
Minus 35. So those are my other 2 groups. And I've had an addition sign in between because there's still 4 terms, right? It's just we're rearranging them and we're putting parentheses around them to say, hey, we're going to group these 2 and we're going to group these 2 together. So that's why this can only work for 4 terms, right? Can you group 5 terms evenly? No, right? So can you do 3 terms? No, right? Grouping only works when you can split them up evenly, such as this. So now that I have this, now let's go ahead and pull out the GCF. All right, let me give you guys a chance to go ahead and pull out the GCF for each one. And then put in parentheses after that what goes inside. All right, let's look at the first one. What do these 2 terms have in common? What's the GCF? Okay, I see someone putting the number 4 up. So 4, and what else? U to what power? To the first. So therefore, inside here, I have 2 blanks, right? Blank minus blank, because there's 2 terms here. What goes inside the blank?
U squared.
U squared minus 5, right? And double check your work. If you multiply this through, you should get the original. This one here, what is a GCF for the second group? 7, right? Is there a U? No, right? There's no U here, so just a 7. Inside here, what do I get when I have blank minus blank again? 7 times what? U squared. 7 times what?
Negative 5.
5. Right. What do you guys notice?
The things in parentheses are matching.
Right. That out of these 2 groups, there's a greatest common factor now. Right? So notice these 2 are exactly the same. Does this always happen when you group? No. If it doesn't happen, then you're going to rearrange it. You're going to put others of them together, and then but all of the problems in algebra, it will always work depending on whether you put it in the correct group. Right? If you put it in the wrong group, you might not be able to end up like this, so you want to rearrange it. But thankfully, we did it correctly so that we were able to have these 2 matching. So now, even though them as 4 individuals did not have a GCF, when we put them into 2 groups, they had a GCF, and now as these 2 groups, now we have a GCF out of both of them. So out of both of these, I could pull out a GCF. Right? I have a GCF now out of these 2 groups. Here's my group 1, and here's my group 2. What's my greatest common factor? What do they both have in common? These 2 groups.
U squared is 5.
Right, U squared minus 5. So U squared minus 5 is now the greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor doesn't just have to be a number, right? It could be this whole polynomial. Right? U squared minus 5 in parentheses is a factor. And therefore, what goes inside the parentheses now? I have blank plus blank. U squared minus 5 times what will give you the first group?
4u plus 7.
4u. Right? And then u squared minus 5 times what will give me the second group? What is it missing?
7.
Just a 7. And that, my friends, becomes your final answer.